Wasm versus Docker, partners not rivals. So today we will see a confusion around like either Wasm is eating Docker or either Wasm is going to replace Docker. I think heard this a lot of confusion in the ecosystem. So first, Niao, hello everyone. Thank you for the opportunity, CNCF. And a little bit about myself. So I'm Pradyumna, I'm from India. So I'm open source Devrel at Devrel. Docker Captain, and I create content on Twitter, LinkedIn, and a lot of technical documentation for Docker and other companies. So all this confusion, or I would say misconception, started from one of the tweets from Docker co-founder, Solomon. So he mentioned like if Wasm or Wasi was there, we wouldn't have created Docker. So there is a one thing, like if certain product gets launched in the market and it's better. So it's generally it learns from the product from which is already in the market or some drawbacks, and then you iterate on that, and then you release a better product. So I agree half, because if Docker was not there, Wasm was also not there, because it learns mistakes and everything from Wasm and everything. So So for starters, and to be on the same plane, so Wasm is a new binary level instruction format. So we have a lot different formats in the system that help you run high level code in your browser. For example, generally we use JavaScript, correct? So we write JavaScript and then you run with different frameworks, Next.js, Angular, doesn't matter. But what Wasm is doing, like if you are a C++ developer, are you even if you are a Golang developer, Rust developer, doesn't matter. You can package your code in like Wasm binary and you can ship that to the browser, so you can run your application inside your browser. So how does that make sense? So if you talk about Figma, if you talk about AutoCAD, which are really bulky solution and providers and the application like 60-80 gigs, you can't think of running them in browser. But with Wasm, it is possible, like Figma, Shopify, there are a lot more, AutoCAD. There are cloud version, how it is, cloud in the sense like you don't need to install the application locally and run. You can literally do everything from the browser. That is made possible with Wasm. You can run higher level application with the Wasm. So Docker versus Wasm. So I would say not versus, their strengths. What are their strengths? So Docker can package code much better. It's highly portable. You can like Dockerize an image and like share it anywhere. For sure, it should be multi-architecture to support every system. But literally, you can publish an image and you can use it anywhere. You will have the same behavior. Runtime isolation, we know Docker host separates, like container separates from the host operating system. And what Wasm is doing on the other hand, near native performance, as I mentioned, you can run your application, same application in your browser. So there was some tests done. The performance is really near an application running inside your browser and running inside your machine. So it's very similar to the highly secure. One of the best part about Wasm is it has a sandbox environment. So you give the Wasm will have that much of permission, the one you give. So for example, if you mentioned you need to access the storage inside the host, it will only access that storage, nothing else than that. Even you need to give the permission for IO as well. Quick startup time, this is one of the drawbacks with the isolated environments. The quick startup times are really bad. And it's faster than Docker as well. So if we combine all the strengths, I think this should be an ideal solution. Correct. We have packaging, we have highly portability, security, runtime isolation, near native performance, and quick startup. So this is what Docker is doing right now. So what Docker does, Docker has this containerd, correct? I think everyone heard of that containerd. And Docker work with like Wasm Edge, Spin, Wasm Time. These are the runtimes for the Wasm. And it creates, everyone can write a shim for that. It is OCI compliant. So it's in plug-and-play architecture. For example, there will be a new Wasm time. They just have to write the shim, and they can literally run on the Docker engine. So let me just summarize all the points. So what Docker is trying to achieve is like you run your Windows, Linux containers, you can run Wasm or WebAssembly containers side by side, just like you do for Linux container. And another thing is like different application of Wasm needs different runtime. This is also another problem like Docker is trying to solve, supporting multiple Wasm runtime, which I mentioned is done by plug-and play architecture of that shim. And the most important for me, I think, is workflow, because we're very used to like Docker run, Docker pull, Docker push. That the same good part of our Docker is coming to this as well. So you can do Docker push and do everything with that, and the Docker workflow like Docker desktop and image integration. And if you have write Docker file previously, you can see like it is the same structure, like from scratch. We are just copying the Wasm binary and running it. It works same like and what is a Linux container image or Windows image. It's very similar to that. Yeah, that was my talk. And if you want to connect with me, you can scan the barcode. Yeah, thank you so much.